Hi everyone, I hope you're doing fine. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 Pyspark interview questions. This will be part of a playlist in which I will cover important pattern of questions asked in Spark interviews. All the questions will be coding based and I will solve each and explain everything in detail. Along with this, I will also explain you how to approach these kind of questions. But before we get started, if you haven't seen my videos on data engineer interview experiences, then click on the I button to watch all of them. Now let's take a look at the dataset. So this is the dataset that we are going to use in this video. I downloaded it from Kaggle and I've uploaded to my GitHub. The link is in the description if you want to use it for your own practice. Let's take a look at the columns. So we have employee ID, full name, job, department, business unit, and various other such columns. The questions are framed using these columns only. I will explain each of the question and solve it in Databricks. In this video, I have not covered how to create an account in Databricks and how to set up a cluster. But if you require that, then don't forget to mention that in the comment. Now let's take a look at the questions one by one. So the first question is, for a given department, find which employee got the highest salary. So before jumping right away into the problem, let's try to understand it and how to approach these kind of questions. Let's try to divide the question into a set of parts. So as you can see, you have to find the value for each department. Then you have to use the salary as an indicator and it should be highest. So you can see there are 3 parts to this question. So what to do here, as I've listed here, divide the employees department wise. So we are going to use partition by in order to divide each of the employees in their respective department. Then we have to order the employees using salary in each partition, and in this case our partition is department. Then decide which window function is most suitable. So most favored window function used in these kind of scenarios are rank, row number, and dense rank. I'm not going to go into much deep on what difference these 3 window function hold or which one to use, but I'm going to give you one small tip on how to decide. If the salary or the department, these kind of columns in which you expect unique values to come up, then it is better to use row number. I'm going to make a separate video in which we will jump into more details on which one to use and which one is most suitable in any scenario. Okay, now the fourth point is, based on if you need highest or lowest, your ordering should be. Now the fourth point is, based on the fact that if you need highest or lowest, your ordering should be in ascending or descending. So here we need highest salary. That means the salary, if we arrange it in descending order, the first one will give us our answer or our result. So in both the cases, the value you have to filter is equal to 1. Now, if I had written the employee who got the lowest salary, then we will order it in ascending order. So at ascending order will give me the lowest salary at the first row. In both cases, we have to filter out 1 as I've written. Now let's take a look at the answer step by step. So here we are at the solution. As I had listed down that we have to divide the employees department wise. So I have done that. I have partitioned the data based on the department and then I am ordering it based on salary column. As you have seen, we have to order the employees using salary. And because the question says that I need highest salary, that's why I am ordering it in descending order. Once I have decided my window function, then I am using the row number here. As I said, I am expecting unique values. There might be duplicate in the current data because it is not a perfect data, but in organization level data, there I will expect that each employee ID is unique and there is one employee assigned to that particular employee ID. That's why row number will make more sense. As I said earlier, I will explain it in more detail in some separate video. Now because we have a lot of columns here and I don't want to show every column, so what I've done is I have selected a particular set of columns only, which are employee ID, full name, job, department, salary, and this RN signifies my row number. Let's take a look at our final result. So as you can see, every employee based on the department, a row number has been assigned. Now here you can see we have some duplicates. that, as I said, won't happen in any industry or organization level data, because this is a free sample data present on Kaggle. So these kind of irregularities is expected. So I hope this question is clear. What you can do is I will attach each and every solution in the description, so you can go to Databricks and try running it in a similar fashion. Let's take a look at the next question now. Coming to the second question, for a given department list, the employees whose salaries are higher than the department average. So I have displayed all the information of the employee DF. As you can see, we have individual departments here. So for every department, what is the average salary? First, we have to focus on this part of the question. After that, we have the department average salary. We have to compare with the salary of each employee. So let's see how to do this step by step. First, we have to create a data frame with department and average salary of each department. After that, we have to join this new data frame, let's call it department average salary, back to the original employee DF based on the department name and whatever our salary condition is. So if the salary is asked higher than the department average salary, then we'll use greater than equal to. And if it is lower than, then we'll use less than equal to. Now let's take a look at the answer and see what the result is of each of these points. So as discussed in the first point, first we'll create a department average data frame. So what I've done, I've grouped by on department and then I'm doing an average on the salary. Also I've taken a round to nearest two decimals. So I've given the column name as average department salary. So this should be very clear to you that for each department I am doing an average of that particular department's salary. Now once I have the department average data frame, then I'm going to join it to my employee DF. Now the join condition, first one should be clear. It should be based on the department. So for every employee that belongs to, let's say, IT, I'm going to join with the IT department so that for that particular IT department, I can get the average salary value. Once I have the average salary value, then in the second condition, I'm going to compare that. So let's say for this particular employee, Harper, the salary is 98,000. The average department salary is 91,000. So this record is a valid record because 98,000 is greater than 91,000. So I hope this question is clear. Like I said about the previous question, this one also is present in the description and you can run it using the same employee dataset that I've attached as well. So let's take a look at the third question now. Now the next question is also on the similar footing. For a given department list, the employees whose salaries are lower than the department average. So just like the previous question, we have to do same thing. First, we have to find out the department average data frame, grouping by department and doing an average on the salary column. Then we have to join back with the employee data frame. On first with the department, second was on the basis of the salary. But unlike the previous question where we had done a greater than equal to because our requirement was find out the salaries that are higher than department average. Here it is opposite of that. So we have to do lower than department average and that's why I have used less than equal to. So that's it for this third question as well. Let's take a look at the fourth question now. So coming to the fourth question now, for a given department, list the employees who have been working for more than 2 years. Now this is a very common type of question that you might get, which is related to date field, where you have to calculate a certain date or you have to calculate a certain number of years, month or day. Anything can happen. The question will not be straightforward. It might be part of a two-part question. Okay. So as I've listed the employee data frame here and you can see we have this field, hire date. So because this data is a little irregular, you might see some of the date fields in a different format, but we can ignore that from now. So for now, we can just assume the ones in this format as our correct data. Now, if you open the drop down for this employee DF, let me show you. So let's say Yes. So let's say I have this one, result df here. So if you can see, our hire date is in string format. So in order to do any computation, string format works, but it is better if we convert it into a date type. So let's take a look at the answer now. So like we did in the previous questions, here also I have divided it into 3 parts. So first is convert the hire date to date type. Then find the number of years of service. So I've used months between, which we are going to see in a little while. So using months between, I can calculate the number of months between 2 given dates. So what I've done is I've taken the hire date and I've found out the difference between the hire date and the current date using the current underscore date function. So that will give me the number of months in between these 2 dates. Then I have divided the total number of months by 12 to get the total number of years. So the question is, we have to find all the employees that has worked for more than 2 years. So using the months between, I found out the number of years from this hire date. So let's take a look at the answer. So as you can see, we have the employee df here. Then first thing, as I discussed, I have converted the hire date in a acceptable format. Then I have found out number of years named column. I've used months between to find out the difference between in months between current date and hire date. Once I've got the number of months between these 2 dates, I've just divided them by 12 in order to convert into number of years. Because the answer would be a little vague, it will be a very long decimal format answer. So I did a round off of 1. And finally, I did a filter on the number of years which our question demands. So let's take a look at the answer. So as you can see, I have all the columns, and at the end I will have the number of years. Now all these number of years are greater than 2. So all these employees are the ones who have worked for more than 2 years in the organization. I hope this is clear. As I said, try this out. And this date field is a very common question, part of the Pyspark interview question. So what I'll do is, in the next video, I will go into much more deeper. I will discuss date diff. Then there is some other methods as well related to finding out difference in dates, addition of dates. If you multiply multiple dates, what happens? And the questions are never straightforward. They're always part of a bigger question, like a smaller part of a bigger question. So we'll do much more digging in detail in some other video. Okay. Now let's take a look at the final question for this video. Coming to the 5th and final question. What is the total count of employees in each department that are not managers? So this must look a little straightforward compared to the previous questions. So in this also we will divide into multiple parts. So the first part is we have to filter all the non-manager employees. Second, because we need count for each department, so definitely we have to do group by. In fact, whenever you get this kind of question where each word is used and a department or some sort of unit or business is used, then always remember, either you have to do partition or you have to do group by. Now which one to do in which case we'll discuss in much more detail in a separate video. But for this we are doing a group by using department, and once we have grouped each of the department, we'll just take a total count of the records in that particular department. So you can see I have listed out the employee DF. We have multiple departments and we have multiple jobs. So in the jobs section, you'll find there's a manager job. Now we have to filter out those records which are not managers. So that's what I've done. I have created a non-manager data frame, and then based on this particular filter where job not equal to manager, I have just picked those records. And now you can see these set of records are the ones which are the non-managerial employees. Once I have this data, what I'll do is I'll group by on the department and I'll just take a simple count that returns me the count of each number of rows in each of the department. So I hope this is clear. So whenever you have to deal with certain kind of question where you have to either group by a department or you have to partition by a department, you have to be very clear what the question demands. Here we needed the net count of a particular department, that's why I've done a group by. Now inside that department, if I have to do furthermore analysis or furthermore processing, then I would have used partition, which that is what I used in the first question. So in the first question, inside the department, I did a partition by so that I can do furthermore analysis on the salary component, right? That's why I used partition by here. But unlike the first question, this question asks me to find the total count irrespective of what kind of salary that particular employee holds. I have to find the total number of records or total count for a particular department, and that's why I've used group by here. So I hope this question is clear, and the entire notebook is available in the description. So just try running each of the commands, play around with the dataset, try creating your own question that makes things more clear. And I'll keep this playlist running, so we'll have different kind of questions dealing in each video. Like in one video, I will definitely put questions related to date functions. In one video, I will go into more deeper into row number, rank, and dense rank. So just stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.